Hey everyone, I'm Liz, and today I'm going to show you how to make one of these Gunter the penguins from Adventure Time. So I finished with this part, so now I just have to put this aside so that I can do the rest of the body. And that part I'm going to do with my black yarn. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a double magic circle. So I have my two loops in one hand, and I'm going to pull up a loop through the middle and chain two. And now I'm going to single crochet 5 more times in the loops. Okay, now that I have my 6 stitches on the loop in total, I'm going to pull on the tail just a little bit, and now I'm going to pull close to that smaller loop, and now I'm going to pull close that bigger loop using the tail. Okay, and now I have the beginning of my magic circle, so I'm going to increase the next row every stitch. So I'm going to put 2 single crochets into every space. So here's my first one, and then I'm going to add another. And also I'm going to make sure to crochet in the tail as I go. And I'm going to continue adding a stitch to every space all the way around. So I've gone all the way around, and now I'm going to do another row of increase, except this time I'm going to increase every other stitch. So the first stitch I'm going to just place one, and then in the next I'm going to place one and then add a second. And I'm going to continue doing this all the way around. So I've gone all the way around another time, and now I'm going to do one more row of increase. This time I'm going to increase every second stitch, or every third stitch. So I'll do 1, 2 stitches with just one, and then I'm going to do an increase and add a second stitch. And then on the third stitch I'm going to add an increase. I'm going to continue to do this all the way around. So I've gone around one more time, and now I'm going to do another row without increasing. So I'm just going to add a stitch in every space without increasing until I get back to the beginning of the piece. So I've gotten to the end of this row, and now I'm going to attach this part to the black part. But before I do that, I'm going to get to this spot so that I can attach it to the front instead of to the back. So I'm going to go on for about 7 stitches, just single crochet 7 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I think I'm going to go on for another couple more stitches. Okay. So now that I'm at the front of the work, I'm going to crochet this on by doing, I'm just going to pull up a loop as if I was going to single crochet, and then I'm going to line this up and into that back loop. See how there's 2 loops in the front and then 1 in the back. So into that very back loop, I'm just going to finish my crochet and pull through a loop. And I'm going to do that all the way across the top until I get to the opposite corner. And as you can see, I am I'm attaching the 2 pieces while still having the white part and the black part have a clear line. Okay, and here's the last one. So now that I've finished attaching the top, I'm going to continue to crochet around until I get to this side, and then I'm going to crochet around the white part. So I've gone all the way around, and now I'm just going to crochet around the white part. So in order to do that, first I'm going to pull up a loop in the very next black stitch, and then into that back loop of the white part, I'm going to pull up a loop, and then I'm going to crochet all of those together. And now I'm just going to crochet around the white part into those back loops. So now that I've gotten to the end of the white part, I'm just going to decrease again by pulling up a loop in this white stitch, the last one, and then going into that first black stitch and pulling up a loop there, and then decrease. And now I'm going to continue until I get back to this corner. So now before I get to the corner, I'm going to decrease one more time. So I'm going to pull up a loop in both stitches and crochet together. And then I'm going to single crochet into that corner. And now I'm going to decrease again, but for this part going around the white part of the body, I'm going to only crochet in the back loops. So there's my decrease. And now I'm going to continue to the other side, and I'm going to continue to the other side, and I'm only going to crochet in these back loops. So now I've gotten all the way around the white part again. So I'm going to pull up a loop into both of these back loops and crochet them together. Then I'm going to stitch into that corner, and then I'm going to decrease the very next stitches. So pull up a loop in both and crochet together. And now I'm going to go around until I get to this other side so I can decrease again. So I've gotten to that corner again, and I'm going to decrease once more and go into that corner again. And now I'm going to decrease again, and this time I'm not going to worry about leaving any of the loops open. I'm just going to continue to crochet. So decrease, and now I'm just going to crochet around until I get to the other corner and then do the same thing. So now I've gotten to that corner again. I'm going to pull up a loop in both stitches and decrease. And then I'm going to crochet into that corner. And then I'm going to decrease again. So now I'm going to crochet around to the next corner, and then I'm just going to repeat that pattern until it's time to close the work. So I'm going to keep on decreasing twice on every corner. Okay, so I finished going around for 6 rows, decreasing 2 on every side. And now the body is just about finished, and now it needs to be closed. So now that I've gotten to this other side, I'm just going to pull this big, and before I continue, I'm going to actually sew the feet on first, so that I can pull the back of the tail through the inside and so that it doesn't show. So I've threaded my needle, and I'm just going to insert my needle right into this corner. Okay. Going to arrange the foot to where I want it to be, and then I'm going to sew on So now that this foot is sewn on, I just have to push the tail through, sew the tail through the foot and into the inside of the body. And I'm just going to pull my needle right out through the hole in the back. Okay. So now the tail is on the inside and this foot is sewn on, and now I just have to do the same thing with the other foot on the other side. So now that I've finished sewing on both the feet and stuffing the body, now I just have to decrease the back until it's closed. So in order to decrease this row, I'm going to decrease every other stitch. In the next stitch, I'm going to pull up a loop, and then in the next pull up another and decrease. And then in the next one, don't decrease. And then the next one, decrease. And I'm going to continue doing this all the way around. So I've gone all the way around that row, and on the next row I'm just going to decrease every stitch. So on this one I'm going to pull up a loop, and then on the next pull up another, and then crochet together. I'm going to do that all the way around. So I've gone all the way around and decreased every stitch, and now that I've gotten to the last stitch, I'm just going to slip stitch. I've already cut my tail to be long enough that I can sew the remainder of this little hole here closed. Okay, so I have my needle threaded, and now I'm just going to sew closed this little white space here. And to do that, I'm going to sew into every stitch this way. Okay, and then I'm just going to pull the hole closed. And then I'm going to sew in the end. Now, as you can see, that hole is sealed up. Now the body is finished, and I just have to add the wings. So the next part that I need to make is the wings. So to do that, I have my black yarn again, and I'm going to make a slip knot. And now I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now I'm going to chain one more, and that will count as my first stitch. And then in the third chain from the hook, oh no, the fourth chain from the hook, I'm going to insert my hook again and single crochet. And then into that slip knot that I made, I'm going to do the same thing, pull up a loop and single crochet. Now I'm going to chain up, turn the work around, and then single crochet into that middle stitch, and then single crochet into that last stitch. Now chain up again, turn the work around, and do the same thing again. Single crochet into the middle, and then single crochet into the end. So now chain up again, turn the work around, single crochet into the middle, single crochet into the end, and then chain up, turn the work around, and I'm going to continue to do this until the wing is as long as I want it to be. Okay, so I've gotten the wing to be about as long as I want it to be. I've gone up I've gone up about 7 rows. So now that I have gotten to this length, I'm going to chain 1, and that's going to be my corner. And now into that same space that I just made that stitch, I'm going to single crochet again. And now I'm going to single crochet all the way around the edge to give it a bit of a better looking edge. And now here at the corner, I'm not going to add a chain to do the corner like I did down here because this part I want to curve, so I'm just going to increase without adding a chain. And I'm going to do the same thing in the opposite corner on this side. And now that I am at this side, I'm also going to pull up that tail from the beginning of the work, and I'm going to tie it in along the side. So now that I've gotten to this side, I'm going to chain 1 to add the corner into that same stitch. I'm going to single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet once in the middle, and then I'm going to just slip stitch onto that corner that I first made. Okay, I'm going to cut my tail away and leave a bit of a long tail so that I can sew it to the side of the body. So as you can see, I've completed and sewn on the first wing, and I've made the second, so now I'm just going to sew it on. So I just want to make sure that it's just about even on the other side, so I'm going to start right here. And I'm just going to pull my needle through, and then I'm going to go through the top of the wing, and back through the top of the wing, and then sew onto the body. Okay. Now the whole wing is sewn onto the body, and I'm just going to go over it a couple of times to make sure that it stays on. So I finished sewing on the wings, and here's the finished product. So if you like this tutorial, you could hit the like button below or subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you have any questions or comments, then you could use the comments section down below, or you could talk to me on Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr. There's links in the description. So I wanted to thank all of you guys that have subscribed to me over this year for all of your feedback and support and for your suggestions. And I also wanted to say that I've reached almost 100 subscribers this year, so that's more than I ever could have bargained for. So I'm looking forward to bringing you all new tutorials in 2015. So thanks to everyone for watching, and Happy New Year. Bye!